Walzo and Morro Castle defended the city of San Juan for over 400 years. Now they just watch the boats go by, the tourists come in. But defense has been the name of the game of the 2014 Puerto Rico tip-off, and now Dayton and UConn have a chance to advance to the final on Sunday on ESPN2, awaiting the winner of Boston College and West Virginia. Good afternoon to everyone on ESPN2 alongside Coach Darren Horn. I'm Alvaro Martin. We knew that Connecticut would depend on Ryan Boatwright, their senior, for everything. In the first game, he led them in minutes, points, assists, and rebounds.
Well, he's a complete player, and he's a senior leader, veteran guard for this UConn basketball team. And what makes him so dangerous, Alvaro, he's almost impossible to guard off the bounce. He can create space and get a shot anytime he wants off the dribble, or he can get all the way to the rim and finish in traffic against bigger guys, but he also creates offense for others as well. And for Dayton, Jordan Seibert is a big key. They couldn't get him going yesterday. They only made 2 threes in the game, but off of turnovers, they scored 20 points. That's what allowed them to stay in the game and ultimately pull out a last-second win on a tip-in against a gritty Texas A&M team. So today you got to keep an eye on Jordan Seibert, the senior guard, made big shots in the NCAA tournament last year, had an all-shooting night yesterday. Don't expect that today. Look for Dayton to go to him early and often. And for UConn, there's another talented wing and a long lineage of great players at UConn coming down the pipe. That's Daniel Hamilton. You see him there. He's long, he's athletic. He's even going to play some 4 for him. And Alvaro, he can flat score the basketball. I think he's the key to the Husky season this year.
Interesting observation. He's the X factor that everybody describes him. Kevin Ollie describes him as such. He went to Kevin Ollie's high school in Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles. In his 3rd season already, owns a championship for UConn. And then Archie Miller, a young 36-year-old coach, one of the best coaches in the business. He could not believe that he won a game in which his team was out-rebounded the way they were by Texas A&M yesterday. They won essentially at the buzzer. Referees today are Jerry Pollard, Pat Adams, and Lee Cassell. And we already have a foul.
That's an early foul on Dayton, and what they're trying to do is stop that big rolling to the rim. That's going to be a point of emphasis for Dayton. Archie Miller not happy with the call.
It's Kyle Davis is first. He's guarding Boatwright. Takes it strong to the hoop. Scoochie Smith.
Great ball movement early.
And the first shot is by Seibert.
And they're going to look for him to be aggressive early on. That's a great shot. They get a baseline hammer pass and then 2 quick reversals.
Daniel Hamilton going in the paint, guarded by Kyle Davis.
And he's a matchup problem for Dayton. He's a big wing that can play in or out. He's going to shoot over smaller guards, as we just saw.
Cross-court pass to Scoochie Smith, and he makes the 3. And that's an area that Kevin Ollie was unhappy with his team after their tough win against Charleston.
Deshaun Pierre with a nice post touch and then diagonal kick out. And a good job by Scoochie Smith to be ready to shoot and step into that one cleanly and knock it down.
Hamilton behind the back. Rodney Purvis, it's good. Took him a while to get on track yesterday. He opens up with a 3.
You see the importance of Ryan Boatwright drawing the help defense, creating the kick out for Purvis.
Scott launches, a long 2, rebounded by Boatwright.
Very important you get back in transition against this UConn team. If Ryan Boatwright gets ahead of steam, headed towards the basket, he's awful hard to deal with.
Nino Bryant with his first touch in the post. And he traveled. Kyle Davis showed him the double team. The last win for Dayton over an NCAA defending champion, 2010 NIT against North Carolina.
They're looking to repeat that here today against UConn. We saw Archie Miller there's team, just a gritty performance. Really the difference in the game yesterday, throw the stats out the window, is that this is a Dayton team that knows how to win. A lot of guys back from the Elite 18. Their first offensive rebound put back of the game.
And a steal by Hamilton. Again, Purvis. Smith. No good. Puerto with an open three. Three Flyers fight for the rebound, but it belongs to UConn. Out of bounds.
One of the challenges Dayton had yesterday against Texas A&M was on the defensive glass, giving up 21 offensive rebounds. A big reason was the guards didn't come down and help enough. You see two guards helping out on that rebound. They just didn't come up with it.
Miller said he had never experienced a game like that where they lost the rebound battles that widely. Hamilton. And rugged rebound by Pierre. Smith, wide open three. They're looking for him to make those threes this year. Purvis drives, floats, and it's good.
UConn puts a lot of pressure on opposing defenses using that ball screen motion action. You got to deal with the big roll into the basket, but you got to stay long enough to stop the guard coming off. Dayton didn't do it that time. Purvis got the floater. Dayton struggling on the defensive glass yesterday against A&M. They did force 21 turnovers and got 20 points, but you look at those numbers on the glass and really just got murdered.
They scored
on the backboard.
They scored 55 points overall. So over a third of their points came off turnovers, and especially in the second half.
Had they not gotten the points off turnovers, there's no way that they're able to win that basketball game. But again, this is a tough-minded, gritty basketball team that reflects the personality of their head coach, Archie Miller, who played that way when he was at NC State.
Great shooter, tough competitor. Pollard in the game now for the Flyers. Had some monstrous stunts early in the game yesterday against A&M. Struggles for the rebound. It belongs to the Flyers. Last touch by Bryant.
Dayton's post are going to need to finish some of those plays during this game and establish some kind of inside presence. UConn not doubling. They're playing straight up in the post.
Last touch, I think, by Bryant with his right hand. Good call by the referee. Daryl Davis, a freshman, on the court.
Very talented freshman for Dayton. Reminds me of Devin Harris, the great Wisconsin player.
Pierre with a nice feed by Scott. Inside.
And one of the things that Dayton does well is their bigs are good interior passes. You see the big post feed for the layup.
And another three by Purvis.
NC State fans are absolutely flabbergasted by the transfer and the way he's shooting the basketball from beyond the arc in these first two games here at the Puerto Rico tip-off.
Pierre blocked by a wall of Huskies. Euro step and the foul.
You have to get Ryan Boatwright stopped early in transition. He's a shot creator and a shot maker. If he gets loose, Boatwright, the shake, and the finish. UConn up early.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. Live your own 5-vacation story in Puerto Rico, the All-Star Island. And Gildan. We make your favorite activewear, underwear, and socks. At Gildan, every thread counts. And Audi. Truth in engineering.
Dayton had a wonderful game at the end in the second half against the Scouts of Texas A&M. And this is the final play. They drive in, and in between three A&M players, Devin Scott with a tip-in, and then UConn, of course, had to scuffle to finally beat Charleston.
Well, UConn had a hard time putting a scrappy Charleston team away, but Ryan Boatwright a big key, and Daniel Hamilton a bit of a coming-out party nationally. Made a big shot there that gave him some separation late. Both these teams with good tests in their first game in preparation for this semifinal battle.
Boatwright to the line. Preseason Wooden Award list, top 50. He's a captain, the only senior in the entire squad. Preseason Player of the Year for the AAC. And unanimous preseason all-conference first team. One of the best players in the nation. One of the reasons why there are 21 NBA scouts in San Juan. One of the many reasons why, right?
Well, there's several players here, and he's definitely very near the top of the list. He's just so dangerous as an offensive weapon. And the thing I like about him is that he's a complete guard. He imposes his will, as we're seeing right here, defensively and offensively.
Really pestering the freshman Davis. Robinson in for the Flyers. Way offline. Rebounded by Pollard.
Pollard's a high-energy guy. Dayton's looking for big things from him this year. Out of Chicago, he's a high riser.
Intercepted by Boatwright. Bill Nolan in the game. Nice screen for Boatwright, and he takes advantage of it.
Well, you can't back up when Boatwright's coming off a ball screen. You got to step up to him, get the basketball out of his hands, at least make it tough for him. That's an easy pull-up.
Nolan put on 20 pounds between seasons, and it showed in that play. A foul by Purvis as Pollard drives to the basket, the sophomore from Chicago.
Boatwright comes off this little flat ball screen. Cyber's got to do a better job of stepping up into that. You can't let him get a rhythm bounce into a jump shot. He'll make that one all day long.
That's the second foul on Purvis. And he'll go to the bench with 8 points. Purvis made his first 3 yesterday with 12 minutes to go in the second half. Then he had another quick one after that. And you mentioned that. It's almost as if the rim opened up for him.
Well, not a three-point shooter, and they hope that he'll make some for him along the way. His great strength is as an athletic defender and in transition. And it's a bonus when he can knock some down.
Robinson, up and under, blocked, and fouled by Nolan. Jalen Robinson will go to the line.
A good step through on the move.
First personal foul
by Robinson, but he got him on top of the head. Definitely banged him on his grill on the way up. Gets the foul call, but how about the length by Nolan on the inside? Not real deep on the interior for UConn this year, but with Brima and Nolan and also Facey, they at least have 3 guys that provide tremendous length. Kevin Ollie likes those long athletic guys that can move their feet well and block shots or attempt to, as we just saw.
Brima ended up with 4 fouls from yesterday's game. He ended up not playing much at the very end of the game. You see the rebounding by Boatwright. He can get up there. He had 6 rebounds yesterday to lead the Huskies. Sam Cassell on the court. Came in from Chipola Junior College. The ball's rebounded by Seibert in the open court. He's got Cassell. And he's fouled.
Your #1 job in transition defense is to protect the basket, but if there's nobody behind you and the ball's out in front, you got to come up and stop the basketball. UConn didn't do that. Cyber drives it all the way into the rim to get fouled.
Trying to cut down a 9-point deficit. Makes the first. Darren Samuel comes into the game for UConn. The LA Crosstown rivalry heats up as the Bruins host the Trojans in a pivotal showdown in the Pac-12 South. Saturday Night Football, number 19 USC, number 9 UCLA, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC. We have a 3-guard lineup for the Flyers right now. Quite an undersized lineup. Kenton facing. Nolan inside, taking advantage of that length.
That's what UConn needs around the basket. Just simple plays, get it in the post. Nice jump hook. He finished closer than where he caught it. Good move by Nolan.
side to Pollard. Beats Facey. Robinson, cross court. Wow, what a shot. Right over Facey goes Scoochie Smith.
What an advantage to have bigs like Robinson that can see the floor and find people. Outstanding skip pass that led to that basket by Smith.
Reach-in foul by Smith.
A very underrated skill that goes unnoticed. He's not going to get the assist, but for a big to find that, he catches Samuels in the closeout. Smith drives right by him. That's a result of Robinson's court vision.
First foul on Smith. And a hold on Darrell Davis. Archie doesn't agree. Team has a knack of beating powerful teams. They won 9 out of the last 11 against the SEC, including yesterday's win against Texas A&M.
We're a little less than a minute away from a media timeout. Next dead ball under 12. Important segment for UConn. They're playing without Ryan Boatwright. They're going to have to do that for short stretches during the season. Again, one of the advantages of coming to a tournament like this is you put your team in situations they're going to be in throughout the year. Playing without Boatwright is going to be one of them.
Cassell takes a shot, no good. Pollard. Oh, and the foul. It's got to be the shoe.
Kendall Pollard is an athletic high flyer. He's an energy guy, outstanding in transition on the glass. And this time he's like, hey, guards, don't worry about me. I got this. And again, UConn does not stop the basketball, allows Pollard to get all the way to the rim. I like this young man. I think he's a guy that brings a lot of energy and toughness and intangibles to this Flyer basketball team.
Nolan will go to the bench for the second foul. Brian is back in. Scott's in for the Flyers. He had 2 monster dunks yesterday. One of the first baskets in the game. The second one coming off an offensive rebound.
Boatwright out, Sam Cassell handling the point.
Samuel. Nothing, not even a step back. Kenton Facey misses, rebounded by Smith. Pollard. Oh, what a block! All ball for Kenton Facey.
Both of these teams outstanding defensively, and part of being a good defensive team is just making plays and going after it. Collision at the rim. We're battling in Puerto Rico.
We about to hit self-destruct, so put them hands up higher. Let's smash this party up.
UConn up by 5 over Dayton with about halfway through the first half, and we know that Connecticut lost some tremendous talent last season.
Well, they did. That's one of the advantages of coming to a tournament like this. You learn how to play without these guys. Obviously, Shabazz Napier, the Final Four MVP, but DeAndre Daniels and Niles Giffey may be the bigger losses in some ways because their ability to stretch the floor as inside guys that took perimeter threes and made them, put a lot of pressure on opposing defenses and opened up the floor for guys like Boatwright and Napier.
Those 3 were responsible for 55% of the minutes, 46% of the scoring, and 53% of the rebounding as Pollard takes the inbound. And Dayton is becoming a very good team executing off inbound on the baseline.
A big part of that is Archie Miller's commitment to out-of-timeout executions, but some of it too is experience. They've got players that have been in those situations. They know what they're looking for.
Scoochie Smith passes a little bit too low for Scott. Bryman. And it's good. He's really developing that hook shot on over either shoulder.
Dayton choosing not to double in the post on Brahma. And I like that decision, Alvaro. If I'm going to have somebody beat me, I'd rather it be him having to make tough shots over people on the inside than Ryan Boatwright getting loose.
That's one of the things you really were anxious to look at today. Brahma scored 14 points in the win against Charleston.
I don't know who's moving their feet more for UConn right now, their players or Kevin Ollie. Look at him getting in a stance.
He really is.
Way to work, coach.
Inside, and the foul on the drive by Pierre.
Amita Brima developing as a post player, gained 20 pounds in the offseason, and you see him make the contact, elevate straight up, play through the physical play, and still be able to finish. It's going to be an important part of not only his development, but UConn's team as the season moves forward.
The fouls on Brima, he had 4 last time. You see some of what you were mentioning, Ollie. It's a whirlwind of activity, and it was a joy to watch his practice the other day.
Hey, let me tell you what, both these guys, if you're a high school player, these are the kind of guys that you want to play for. They're high energy, they're positive with their team, they give you a lot of offensive freedom, but you better play defense if you go to UConn or Dayton.
Oh. Ball is tipped by Pollard, and that's one of the dunks I was talking about. You knew that was coming.
It's not a matter of if, it's only when Kendall Pollard gives us a highlight reel. He did it that time defensively. A little ill-advised pass by Boatwright. Pollard scooped it up.
Samuel trying to beat the post. Loses the handle. Pierre, oh boy. And a foul as we look at Pollard's dunk.
Well, poor offense is leading to good offense for Dayton. Pollard with the flush, and then Kevin Ollie did not like the turnover, and even less happy with the basket at the end of it.
13 years in the NBA with 11 teams as a point guard after a great career in Connecticut.
Let me tell you, you don't last that long at that level without being a superstar unless you're a high-character winner that knows how to lead and show up and work the right way as a professional every single day, and he's bringing that to these young people in the UConn program now. Outstanding, not only outstanding coach, but an outstanding mentor of young people, what it takes to be successful at the next level. Brought in by the Cleveland Cavaliers to mentor young LeBron James, then brought in by the Oklahoma City Thunder to mentor the young Kevin Durant. Durant speaks very, very highly of him. Pierre makes the free throw. A 9-2 Dayton run. And they've done it with defense, which is Dayton's signature. That's how they won the game yesterday. Points off turnovers with a poor offensive performance. Ryman gets fed now. He's doubled. Difficult shot. Finally, Pierre takes a rebound. Zybert. Oh. Beautiful adjustment and the foul from Brima. We've seen this a couple times in our earlier game today, Alvaro. When a guy attacks the basket, he cannot get and ones. You either got to let him score or you got to make sure he doesn't get it on the rim. Zybert with a little side step on the jump. Little contact and gets the finish. Brima, that's his second. Completes a three-point play. Kenton faces back in the game. And we have a timeout by UConn. Dayton takes the lead by 1. The UD faithful, about 1,000 strong. That's about, let's see, about 900 nights here in Puerto Rico. They filled one side of the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. And I have to tell you, we were driving through Ashford Avenue, going to pick you up earlier this morning, and there were quite a few of them walking, and they all had such a smile on their face. There was such a nice breeze. Temperature was great, and you knew that they were thinking, this is great. Warm weather and winning will do wonders for your attitude.
Hamilton. First time he touches the ball in a long time. Lubin with a tough shot. They're defending the post very well. Pierre, open court. Ooh. And the foul!
Right now, UConn struggling to finish in the post. And Dayton just playing them straight up inside, but being very physical. And the physical play leads to transition offense for Dayton.
Open court, though, we've seen two bigs now for Dayton dribble the open court without a Connecticut players stopping them.
Dayton's bigs are not tall, but they are physically very strong. They play very physical, and they've got the kind of skill level we just saw from Pierre.
And Miller said that nothing's more horrible, nothing creates more panic and terror than Pierre driving on a fast break. Saw a sample of that. Hamilton, it's good. A weak side three-pointer.
This young man has an opportunity to be special. NBA scouts that are here are very high on his potential.
Here comes Cyber. And the ball belongs to UConn. Tie game.
UConn continually trying to find their way with the new mix of players. Without the guys we mentioned earlier in the lineup, we know what Boatwright can do, but some other guys having to step up their game, and that's why I think Daniel Hamilton may be the key to UConn's season. I think he's an offensive player that has the ability to get in the 14 to 15 point a game range.
A bit more ball handling now with Cassell on the court now. Hamilton launches off the screen. It's in again!
Playing with a lot of confidence right now. The freshman from California. Played at Kevin Ollie's high school.
8 points and 2 of 3 shooting from behind the arc. Robinson inside. Blocked again, this time by Boatwright. Cassell, no good. Well, back in the hands of the Huskies.
Good hustle by Lubin to keep that one alive.
Pollard takes a rebound.
Hamilton going to work on the smaller Cyber. Doesn't get it to go, but it's a mismatch when he gets a small guard on him.
Cyber penetrates all the way against Lubin. Cuts the UConn lead to 1.
Kevin Ollie not happy right now with how easy some of these Dayton baskets are. Got to put up a little bit more resistance if you're the Huskies.
Cassell again on weak side 3. And he's fouled. So a chance for UConn to pat the lead. They're up 1 against Dayton. 17th ranked UConn beating Dayton by 1. 7 minutes to go in the first half. These morning games have been close or hard fought. It's the afternoon and evening games from the semifinals on where big things are at stake. The winner of this game awaits the winner of Boston College and West Virginia. The loser will play the loser of this game, but the championship game will be on Sunday on ESPN2 at 6:30 Eastern. Join us.
Big win for Boston College over a talented New Mexico team. Well wishes for Cullen Neal.
Yes.
New Mexico coach's son who went down last night, injured his foot. We hope he's not out too long.
But he's not expected back in the tournament. That's the word from New Mexico, and that's a disappointment. This young man came into this tournament with all the exhibition games as the top scorer of the 8 teams present here. He was scoring 25 points per game, a couple of exhibition games before coming to San Juan, as Cassell makes the first free throw. Yes, that's Sam Cassell's son. His father and Kevin Ollie were teammates in the NBA in the 2002-2003 Minnesota Timberwolves. That's one of the advantages of Kevin Ollie. I mean, you have been in a lot of teams. That's not good. But when you have and you retire, your network is incredible.
He's got an incredible network, and he's got the ability to go into recruits' homes and say, hey, I've been where you want to go, and I stayed a long time. I can help you learn what it takes to do the same.
And there's a foul on Cassell, holding on to Seibert. You can imagine all of his former teammates who respect him deeply, just passing tips and tidbits about players that they've seen. It's a huge network.
Well, it is. No question that it is a huge network. And Kevin Ollie will use it to his advantage any chance he gets. We saw the pickup foul there by Sam Cassell because they're so worried about Jordan Seibert. He held him on the cut. They don't want him to get loose.
His first free throw. He's got 8 points already. His nickname is Smooth, so he misses the second. That's a leading scorer and one of the top 3 three-point shooters in A10. Seibert falls down, but recovers. Deflected by Pollard. Purvis back in the game with 2 fouls. Way off.
Kevin Ollie called for the clear out because of the mismatch with Purvis on Pierre. Purvis shot a fadeaway jumper.
And again, a flyer comes in without opposition as Hamilton ties his shoelaces.
Bad shots almost always lead to transition baskets for the other team. Bad fadeaway for Purvis leads to a transition bucket for Dayton.
You gotta stop the ball. Cassell, nice pass inside. Beautiful move between Boatwright, Hamilton, and Cassell.
Good action off the curl. Hamilton made himself available by dropping to the baseline. Easy lay-in, talented young freshman.
Seibert between the legs, turn around. Oh, no good. Basie, he's fouled. Go to the line.
Well, the fadeaway on the mismatch, Ollie wanted him to drive the big to the rim. And when you take a bad shot, the defense gets out of whack. Nobody stops the basketball. Yeah, Seibert's all the way to the rim. And then the nice curl and dump off to the freshman Hamilton on the quick pin down.
That's the third coast to coast by Dayton.
Again, early season for both of these teams, even though we have the defending national champions and an Elite 8 team in UConn and Dayton. It's early in the season for these current teams. Still working out the kinks and lots to get better at. And so far early in this game, transition defense, one of them for UConn.
Kenton Facey, born in Jamaica, came to the U.S. about 4 years ago. Resides near Long Island, played soccer and cricket growing up. Started playing basketball at the age of 15. And the coaches have been having him work on his three-point shooting between seasons.
UConn's got a lineup in where they can switch all of this action on the perimeter by UConn. Keep the basketball in front.
Six to shoot. Davis drives, and he's fouled.
Good recognition by Kyle Davis. Good defensive possession by UConn. They just didn't finish it, but nobody's working any harder than Kevin Ollie. Look at him sliding his feet, covering a lot of ground. Living with every play of his team.
But staying within the box, within the rules. Kyle Davis misses the second. Here comes Hamilton. Oh, and he gets the call. The N1, Seibert with the call.
That is where Rodney Purvis is dangerous. He's a strong, athletic guard that's outstanding in transition. That's a tough call. Seibert might have been moving sideways just a touch on that one, but that's where Purvis excels, getting out in transition, finishing at the basket.
That's the first foul by Cyber as he completes a three-point play. He transferred from North Carolina State. He's also recovering from left shoulder surgery. He's not at 100%. He's close, says Coach Kevin Alley. Inside Pierre to Scott. Tremendous move by Dayton.
And Dayton took advantage of the mismatch. Hamilton playing on the interior right now at the 4 spot. Long enough, but not strong enough.
Samuel drives, and the ball stripped by Davis. Goes out of bounds.
Good reaction by Daryl Davis defensively. This is a freshman Dayton is very high on. Can shoot with range and create offensively, but he's long and athletic enough to become a good elite defender for Dayton. Just some work to go, not the experience to do it yet.
Pollard's in for Pierre, 17 seconds to shoot in the possession. Samuel. Here comes Dayton. Here comes Scott. Pocket pass. Blocked by Hamilton. Pollard stripped and fouled by Facey. So UConn leads Dayton by 5 with 3:21 to go in this great first half.
UConn with a 5-point lead over Dayton right now. Steve Weissman, Seth Greenberg going to join you on the Land Rover halftime report. Coach, what has stood out to you so far?
Pace of this game is a little faster than I expected. I thought this was going to be first to 55 wins. Not so.
Might be a little higher scoring. We'll break down the defenses as well. Plus, how did Cal beat Syracuse last night? The Cuse may drop out of the rankings for the first time in 5 years. Coach going to break that down as well. Let's go back out to Puerto Rico. Alvaro, Darren.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Seth. Tonight at 7 p.m., it's a 2K Classic Championship game from Madison Square Garden as Texas faces California. This game is part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. You look at how California really left Syracuse behind.
Well, Texas had to come from behind to win their game last night. I like Texas. They're big. They've got a lot of guys back from a team that was outstanding last year, but they're without Isaiah Taylor tonight. He's got a wrist injury.
Kevin Ollie has to be a little bit concerned that his team is defending well in the early part, really most of a possession, and then they get some breakdowns at the end.
Again, we've talked about coming to these tournaments and your team growing and finding out what they need to get better at. UConn's been outstanding defensively on a handful of possessions in this first half, and then not finish the possession with stops, giving up drive-bys or fouled at the end of the shot clock.
Can you say, on the other hand, that Archie Miller's team is very comfortable with the last few seconds of a possession?
Well, I think they understand what's going on. You saw Kyle Davis a few possessions ago when that happened. Oh, shot clock's running down. I better drive the ball to the rim. This is a veteran team. It's been a lot of tough situations.
A bit over 3 minutes to go. Samuel. No good. Great box out. Great rebound by Dayton. Picked up that rebound off the ground, off the floor.
UConn putting tremendous pressure on Dayton on the perimeter.
Oh, Pollard flashes and flushes. Pollard right quickly. Open three. No good. Ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Davis.
This is an outstanding cut by Kendall Pollard. This young man is an energy guy. Does a lot of little intangibles, like something simple like a hard cut to the rim when Hamilton gets caught sleeping. Results in a dunk. I like what Pollard brings to this Dayton Flyer basketball team. He's the kind of guy you want on your side.
UConn clinging to a 1-point lead.
Even though these are some new faces on both sides, you got two teams that are playing like they've been in some big situations before. National champion and an Elite Eight team.
Two of the top teams last year. Dayton finally made the ball after the end of the tournament. Tough shot by Boatwright.
Yeah, if he doesn't get some help earlier, I'm not sure there's anybody in college basketball that's stopping Ron Boatwright from getting to the rim. He may not finish it, but he's going to get the shot he wants in that situation.
Seibert. Oh! And the foul.
Well, you've got to make winning plays, and sometimes winning plays is knowing what not to do. Seibert drives it, and again, a cheap foul at the basket by UConn. You got to cleanly make a physical play on the ball there and not let him get it up and have a chance at the and one.
Interesting dynamic. As soon as Facey realized the foul was on him, he was about to get emotional, and Boatwright came right up to him and just explained to him calmly, this is what you have to do.
Been really impressed with Ryan Boatwright's leadership here in the last couple days. And how about this Dayton crowd?
Samuel, short, rebounded by Facey. Nice putback. Now, Dayton is on a 9-4 run. Davis keeps his balance somehow as he slipped. Looking for the tie of the lead. Intercepted. But he stepped on the line. Samuel stepped on the line. It belongs to Dayton.
Really good job, though, by Samuel of dropping down inside on the baseline and taking away the drift pass. Just couldn't come up with it. Watch Pollard on the lob.
No, not denied by Cassell.
Well defended by UConn because they watched him get it twice yesterday. One time he missed, but he had two clean looks at the basket off of it.
They scored 3 points off those set plays, 3 baskets, I should say, and that may have been the difference.
That's one of the advantages of a live tournament situation. You get to see a team do those things and prepare for it.
Another flash cut by Pollard and another basket. He sells them well. He lulls you.
Really surprised we don't see this is the second day in a row now. We're not seeing a 2-for-1 NBA style from Kevin Ollie's team.
Boatwright, tough shot. Pollard again. Bang! And a technical foul for hanging on the rim.
Pollard, an excitable young man, gets the nice finish.
And Devin Scott say, look, I was near under him.
Well, I don't think anybody was under him. I do think his momentum had carried him forward some, but what got him was the little pull-up at the end. Anytime they see you elevate towards the rim like you're pulling yourself up, I think had he just braced himself to stop his momentum, he would have been fine. But the slight pull at the end forced Jerry Pollard to make the call. I wish they'd get rid of the rule altogether. No advantage gain. It potentially becomes a big play as it gives UConn an opportunity to go to the foul line.
Tie the game. As Boatwright does. Take another look.
If you watch this closely, Pollard's momentum is going to carry him forward. I think the hang is fine. It's just the little pull at the end. He didn't need to pull his head above the rim, and that's what got him. Again, I don't like the rule. I wish they'd get rid of it altogether.
I'll be his lawyer now, his attorney. Hamilton pushed him a little bit on the way to the basket. A little bit.
Hamilton's a $1.85. Pollard couldn't feel that. This is where, in the half, late game situation, UConn's so dangerous because they've got this man right here, number 11, Ryan Boatwright. You better run somebody at him or he's going to get where he wants to go.
10 seconds at the end of the half. They clear out for Boatwright. Here he goes. Offensive foul. And now Dayton has a second and a half.
Well, we just said you can't keep Boatwright in front by yourself. Nobody runs at him, but it's a good job of rotating over. Definitely set. He's able to get the charge. Pierre giving up his body, making the big play.
That's his second foul.
You gotta love the passion that these two guys coach with. 1.5 seconds on the clock.
What can you do?
Gives you time for a quick catch, maybe a dribble and a shot, but definitely not a pass. Look for Archie Miller to get somebody on the run on the angle where they can catch square and shoot the ball, or maybe something deep over top.
He's got the youngster Darrell Davis, Seibert, Pollard, Scott and Pierre. UConn with 15 fouls so far. Long pass. Pierre, turnaround shot. In time. No good.
Good execution, about as good a look as you're going to get in that situation.
As befits the first half, we have a tie game between number 17 UConn and Dayton. 5 ties, 5 lead changes. Let's head over to the studio for the Land Rover halftime report. Here's Steve White. What a doozy of a game between two of last year's top 8 teams in college basketball. It's a 41-all tie between UConn and Dayton. Alongside Coach Darren Horn, I'm Alvaro Martin. We came here expecting the defense was setting the tone in this tournament. We expected a defensive battle. We didn't get it.
No, we got some offense in this first half between UConn and Dayton, and a great job on Dayton's part of getting to the foul line. That's the difference for them. For UConn, the difference is 4 for 10 from three-point line.
25-18 as we look at the first half highlights.
Well, Ryan Boatwright's a guy you got to get stopped in transition. Got out early, got some buckets, but Dayton in the paint, outstanding. There was a bunch of different guys, but 26 points for Dayton in the paint. UConn scores. Kevin Ollie's happy.
Yeah,
UConn gives up an easy basket. Kevin Ollie's not too happy.
10 points for Daniel Hamilton, the freshman for UConn. As we start the second half, here's this game 2 of day 2 of the 2014 Puerto Rico tip-off. The winner advances to the championship game as the ball's kicked by Dayton. Connecticut so far in the season has about the same amount of turnovers as assists. They've got 4 assists here in the first half, as opposed to 5 turnovers.
We talked about points in the paint for Dayton. A big part of that is Dayton getting out in transition. UConn's got to do a better job in this second half of stopping the ball in transition.
And a foul by Hamilton on the drive by Scoochie Smith. Second foul on Hamilton.
Second personal foul on number 5.
Hamilton asking for the hook from veteran official Pat Adams, and Pat responded by letting him know, yeah, but you had your forearm on him first. Anytime you move the dribbler or impede his progress, it's going to be an automatic foul, especially that far from the floor or from the basket.
UConn last season was 6-5 when they were behind in a score or tied at halftime. 26-3 when they were in front. Smith, tough guy.
Both of these teams happy so far in this game to execute in the half court. They're more comfortable when they're playing fast. Saw the ill-advised pass by Boatwright.
And that was their 6th turnover.
Good look for Dayton to try to get Jordan Seibert loose early. Such an important part of their offense.
Motion here. They feed Pierre. Drop step, but he traveled.
And we talked about the bigs for UConn not necessarily being big in terms of stature, but they are very long and athletic. That was a really nice job right there by Facey of moving his feet and forced the turnover.
Facey opens up the second half with 2 fouls. Ryder. Boatwright. Foul along the way.
A really good job by Boatwright. Anytime the ball goes inside, the defense is going to jump to the basketball and get closer to it. When it came back out, that means your defender's in a closeout situation. And Boatwright took advantage of it and drew the foul.
Kyle Davis for the 2nd foul. Another one by Davis.
That was a good call there. Dayton obviously trying to be physical with Boatwright. Davis rode him off the screen. Watch Davis. Body around the screen. Can't do that anymore. It's impediment of progress.
It's bumper cars down there. As Pollard's in for Davis with 2 quick fouls. He'll go to the bench with 3 overall. Hamilton. Finally gets it. Faces up. And Pierre grabs the rebound. Scott makes the basket. I don't think Bryman's going to go much further out than that, and he did.
And Scott makes another one. He's going to have to come out and get a hand up, but UConn right back at him. And again, one of the reasons they're so dangerous is Boatwright's ability to get the ball where he wants it to go and create his own shot. Did it that time before Dayton's defense got set.
Scott trying to post up Bryman. He does. Seibert, open 3. Yeah, it's good. Now Dayton goes up by 3.
I really can't say enough about the Dayton bigs and their ability to pass the basketball. You saw the kick out from one to his big buddy, and then he just makes the quick second extra pass that gives Seibert the clean look.
Nobody moves. And Purvis saying, well, all right, pass this on to Boatwright. Purvis. Long. And it belongs to UConn.
Dayton, an outstanding interior passing team with their bigs. You see Scott with the kick out to Robinson, and then just a quick extra pass like a guard would to Seibert for the open 3. If he holds that ball even for a second, Seibert doesn't get that shot. The Dayton bigs do a good job of passing. Archie Miller's got to be pleased with that.
They're making the right reads over and over again. Boatwright takes it all the way to the cup. No, too fancy for Scoochie. Apparently, Connecticut, a player, yep, they're going to change the call. A Connecticut player kicked it. Conference between Pat Adams and Jerry Pollard. 26 seconds on the possession for the Flyers. Tough shot by Pierre, blocked by Prima. Boatwright is, a tough fall by Samuel. He gets up very quickly. Right now, Boatwright is their offense.
Ryan Boatwright being very aggressive to start this half, and I like that by the senior guard. You've got a veteran that's capable of putting a team on his back. Your tie game and a half. Who comes out and is aggressive early, I think that's a good thing.
Long rebound off the missed three. Inside. Beautiful move by Basie.
Easy basket's going to be hard to come by in this game, so if you can get out and run and get an easy one, that's a good thing. And UConn's bigs not thick, but they can run.
Inside to Pierre. Lots of room to operate. In and out. Davis with the three.
Another great example of inside-out basketball. You want to take threes in transition on offensive rebounds and on inside-out action. And again, the Dayton bigs, the driving force on that with the great kick out to the talented freshman, Davis.
They're not putting any pressure on him down there. Single coverage, no show, nothing. Got room and time to think and operate. Deflected by Cyrus. It's red hot here. Dayton leading UConn by 2.
UConn out on the break, running early in the second half. But Dayton coming right back at him. The kick out and the three. We've got a back and forth game. The Puerto Rico tip-off. Let's go inside the play. Dayton's bigs, outstanding passing big men. You're going to see UConn give a little extra help, and the passing of Dayton bigs freeze it. You're going to see Boatwright overextend on the help, and that allows the kick out and the easy step in for Davis. But that can't happen even with great spacing if your bigs aren't capable of making those passes. And Archie Miller's got two bigs that can really pass the basketball.
A 2-point Dayton lead over UConn. Just under 15 minutes to go in the second half. Show a little zone, Flyers do. Samuel penetrated. He wanted to dish out to Bryma. And now it's a 4-on-5 as Pollard's a little slow getting back into transition offense. Again, Pierre sitting in his office. Short. Intercepted by Pierre. And he misses. Misses again. He gets the foul in the bucket. Persistence by Pierre.
That play epitomizes what Dayton basketball is all about. Pierre with the defensive play misses. Watch how quick he gets back into the action. Misses again, but he will not quit. And continues on and gets the and one. That's what Dayton basketball is all about. If you asked Archie Miller, he wouldn't look for a pretty play or a made three. He'd show you that one right there when he said, wants you to know what his program's about. Great play by Pierre.
And Amita Bryma has to go to the bench with his third foul. He was not going to be denied. Completes the three-point play off the steal. And he gets an ovation from the Dayton faithful. Boatwright shot half of UConn's shots in the second half. A foul on Hamilton. And remember, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, it's the 2K Classic Championship game from the Madison Square Garden. As Texas faces California, this game is part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Number 10, Texas, you were extolling the virtues yesterday, and they made you sweat a little bit last night when they were down against Iowa.
They did. They had to come from behind without Isaiah Taylor tonight, who injured his wrist, and upset win by Conzo Martin's California team over Syracuse in New York.
UConn has now missed its first free throw of the game. Davis picked up a dribble. James Robinson.
You know, the more you watch this game, Alvaro, the more you feel like you're watching an NCAA tournament game. These are two teams that are going to be in the tournament, have a chance to advance. Great guard play, outstanding coaches.
Well, one of them got his start with you, as the ball's intercepted. Nice transition. Purvis finishes. Now here comes Seibert. All the way, and he gets fouled by Nolan.
You cannot relax in this game. You score it, they're coming right back at you, and it's both teams. The steal and the finish on the other end for UConn, out and running, and there's no hesitation for Dayton. They rip it out of the net, take it the other way, and Seibert draws a foul at the basket. Can't relax in a game like this.
It's Nolan's third, and he's subbing for Bryden, who's had 3 as well. Facey comes back into the game. Seibert with a free throw. I was mentioning that Archie Miller got his start with you, under you.
His first full-time coaching job was with us at Western Kentucky, and it was evident early on that he was special. He was just a guy that gets it. It's about the only way to say it. A hard worker, great feel, tremendous with young people, and a terrific recruiter. Is signee at Western Kentucky in his first year as a coach. Courtney Lee, maybe the all-time best player at Western Kentucky, and an 8-year pro now starting for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Open 3 for Cassell. It's in. Nice drive by Hamilton.
Terrific drive and kick. Sam Cassell stepped into it cleanly. Forced a couple early. He got that one in rhythm, and he banked it.
Gucci Smith loses the handle, gets it back, and he travels.
Look at the emotion of Kevin Ollie. I don't know who's competing harder, him or his players.
You have to change his shirt at halftime.
Archie Miller's doing it on the other end, too. Love the emotion of both these players. They're competitors. Their teams have been in big situations. We've got a tournament atmosphere here with 2 high-level teams.
Hamilton gets fouled. No basket. No basket. As they will inbound with a new 35.
This is the first look for many people. Daniel Hamilton on a national stage. We're going to be seeing a lot of this young man. He's an outstanding talent.
The ball belongs to Dayton. His older brother Jordan played for the Denver Nuggets, ended up with Houston in the preseason, tried to make the Utah Jazz, was one of their late cuts before the season started. He's got another older brother who played college basketball. He's the youngest of those 3 outstanding ball players.
Got to be tough if you're your youngest growing up in that home, don't you?
Oh, beautiful reaction by Facey. Nothing's cheap in San Juan. Dayton leads UConn by the minimum.
Facey making sure he protects for UConn. Dayton up 1 over UConn. We're going inside the play. Both of these teams want to play fast. Check out the exchange on these 2 plays. Off the steal, 13:07 on the clock. The quick push by UConn. They're going to score that thing in 4 seconds, but don't relax. At 13:01, they rip it out, and here comes Dayton right back at them. Jordan Seibert ends up getting fouled on that play. Both these teams want to play fast. You cannot relax defensively in transition. You better get back.
Here, misses, and he's fouled. Here right now with 10 points and 7 boards. Now Kenton Facey commits his thirds, and all the big men from UConn have 3 fouls. misses the free throw. Points scored against Texas A&M. He led the team in scoring. Purvis back in for the Huskies. Samuel will take a seat.
UConn with one of their better offensive lineups in terms of they have Hamilton at the 4 and still have Purvis and Cassell in as well.
Foul by Kyle Davis. I believe that would be his 4th.
Personal foul of number 3, Kyle Davis.
That can become really important here in the next several minutes. How long does Archie Miller keep his starting guard out?
Pollard comes in for him. No basket, no basket.
He just big boyed him on that play. There was really nowhere to go. He just dropped his shoulder and people started bouncing off of him. Strong attack to the rim by Purvis. Catches the ball at the top and there's really nowhere to go. There's plenty of help, but just drops his shoulder and forces his way to the rim and gets the foul.
Yeah, this foul's on Smith and he takes a seat. Here comes Daryl Davis, the youngster. It's going to be an interesting stretch for Dayton.
We've talked throughout all of our games at the tournament so far about this being a learning experience for every team. You put Daryl Davis, a freshman, in a game like this, he's going to grow from it.
Top shot for Hamilton. Here comes Pierre. Open court again. Deflected and taken away by Boatwright.
Mismatch.
Purvis inside the circle. No good.
Kevin Ollie would rather see Purvis drive that one all the way to the rim. Pull up jumpers, not his forte. Get to the rack like you just did, Mr. Purvis.
Pollard got positioning, but he misses a shot. Cassell drive. Wow. A tough foul by Pollard. Cassell gets up.
Sam Cassell with a nice shot fake. Gets the defender up in the air. Drops it strong to the rim. And I think a clean play on the ball and exactly how that should be played. Don't give the offense an opportunity for an amble. We've seen that happen several times today.
Scucci's got 4. Kyle Davis has 4. Pollard just committed his 3rd. That's going to become an issue with 10.5 to go.
And UConn already in the bonus before the 10-minute mark of the second half.
Dayton playing with an 8-man rotation. And 3 of those are in foul trouble. Mention how Cassell played at Chipola College. First team All-America by the NJCAA. Averaged 18 points and almost 4 assists last season. Nice cut inside. Again! Pollard! And the fouls on Boatwright.
Dayton has had some success with the little cross screen for Pollard. Had one in the first half. They're ready to get one now. The nice find by Seibert on the cut. Pollard with a chance at the and one. We just talked about the and one situation on the other end. You can't let him get it up on the rim.
17 of 24. Dayton, about 70% shooting from the line. Connecticut's missed only 1 of 13 free throws. Purvis again. Hamilton misses the putback.
Empty opportunity for UConn in a game of this magnitude, with this many players on the floor. You get one close to the rim at point-blank range, you got to finish it.
$12 to shoot. 7 to shoot. Seibert. Boatwright throws it against Pollard. It's the Huskies.
Really well defended by UConn. The key to finishing that defensive stop is the switch by Purvis at the end on Seibert. Forced the challenge 3. Nice job by the Huskies.
Less than 10 minutes to go in the second half.
Favorable matchup right now for UConn is Hamilton.
And a foul on Seibert. I tell you, Boatwright's provoked so many fouls today.
Second personal foul, number.
That's the second on Seibert.
He is a nightmare matchup off the bounce. I can promise you the one thing that Archie Miller lost the most sleep about preparing for this game was how do we keep this guy from beating us off the dribble.
Attempting his first free throw. Made the last 3.
Dayton's in foul trouble. There's still 9 minutes left in the game, and UConn's working their way towards a double bonus. They may have to make a couple adjustments in how they're guarding some things, maybe mix in a little bit more of that zone, trying to protect some guys.
14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Ryan Boatwright. Amita Breida back in the game for UConn. As is Terry Samuel. Interesting lineup for Kevin Ollie.
Kevin Ollie in favor of good guards, and he's playing 4 right now. He's got Purvis at the 4 spot. Purvis is physical enough to bang inside with Dayton.
We're going to test that. Ball's loose. Here comes Purvis.
One of the advantages you have defensively when you're small is that you've got more people on the floor that move their feet well, can help you recover. That time it forced a steal for UConn.
UConn reclaims the lead. We've seen this before yesterday. Seibert in the low post. No good this time.
Good defense by Sam Cassell not to foul, to make Seibert try to finish over top of him. Purvis can drive any bigs.
Dayton using some zone. Boatwright launches. Pollard. Inside to Scott. And he traveled. Everybody's on their feet at the Coliseo Roberto Clemente here in San Juan. It's a tight game between UConn and Dayton. UConn up by 1. Darren, let's go inside the play.
One of the advantages of playing small, like Kevin Ollie likes to do, is not just on the offensive end, but defensively, you're more athletic, can move to the ball quicker. Freeze it. Let's watch. Keep an eye on Rodney Purvis right here. He's going to show, which is going to force the spin. The ball pops out. Now he's in position. And when you got a guard in that spot, he's just going to take it the other way and finish it. So there's an advantage defensively when you play small, not just on the offensive end.
Yeah, those were the points that gave UConn that lead. 1 point lead, 7.5 to go in the second half. Purvis bringing the ball up court now for the Huskies, with Boatwright taking a breather.
I like that decision by Kevin Ollie. Give him one last long break before you have to ride him the rest of the way.
Launches along the 2. What a box out by Scott. Davis. Another chance for Dayton off the offensive rebound. Dayton out-rebounding Connecticut by 5. 31-26. Scott. Blocked by Bryma. That's the second. Mita Bryma averaged a little bit over 2 blocks a game last season.
That was a nice defensive play. He gets knocked off when the shoulder gets dropped, but he finds a way to recover and get the block anyway.
Pollard again. Oh, protecting that rim is Bryma. 5 to shoot. Davis, the freshman, again! It's a block party in San Juan.
Bryma with 3 straight. This one the most important at the end of the shot clock. Daryl Davis makes the right play to attack. That's the second one. The one-man wrecking crew down there at the basket. That's the kind of defensive plays that Kevin Ollie needs from Bryma.
7th block by the Huskies. And yet they cling to a 1-point lead. Hamilton. Yes!
This young man is special. He plays with great poise and great pace. He doesn't force things. Big threes by the talented young man from California.
And Archie Miller calls a timeout. His team trails UConn by 4. UConn is up by 4, and Armida Bryma has been protecting that lead.
And a big shot by the talented freshman Daniel Hamilton. You see Purvis off the ball screen. Pollard late to recover. He got a hand up, but it was too late. And one of the reasons is Hamilton is 6'7". So he's got great size and range and great poise for a young player.
Brother Isaac is a redshirt freshman at UCLA. Father Gary played at Miami for 4 years and ended up playing professionally overseas.
Oldest brother played for Perry Clark at Miami. Good bloodlines, and you know what? When you're the youngest in a long line of guys like that, you're going to be tough because you don't have a choice.
And you find a way to fit in, which he's done so far in Connecticut.
Look for Jordan Cyber maybe in the post or off a down screen.
Scott with now 7 seconds to shoot. He's gonna have to take that shot inside the Pollard. And a foul before the shot. And again, Archie Miller's Flyers are very comfortable at the end of a shot clock.
Good execution by Dayton late in the clock again. UConn with a strong defensive possession. Ill-advised reach by Purvis. Forced the foul. He didn't need to. 1 second on the shot clock and he fouls.
Cyber. Rebounded by Hamilton. Boatwright's back from his breather. They feed Bryma. Tough shot, but it's in! And he celebrates.
Anytime you see a big do what he did on the defensive end a few trips ago with 3 straight blocks, it's going to build their confidence as a whole. That one led to a nice finish on the post move.
Scott launches from the top of the key. It's in!
How clutch is Devin Scott? Veteran, a lot of experience. Plays with great poise. Got the big tip in yesterday. At the end of the game, literally with 1 second on the clock to beat Texas A&M.
You noticed they were giving him that shot. He passed it up the last couple times. Look for a better shot. UConn up by 4. Boatwright, contact on the shooter, and his 3 foul shots to Ryan Boatwright. The fouls on Seibert.
Ryan Boatwright, maybe one of the most dangerous guards in all of college basketball, creating his own shot. You saw the step back and then just a little aggressive by Jordan Seibert. He tried to avoid it at the end, but it was too late. His momentum carried him into Boatwright. Boatwright gets 3.
It would actually be 2 as he was inside the arc. No, we're going to give him 3 shots.
Good call by Lee Cassell. Sometimes the 2 different three-point lines is confusing for players and officials. He was on top of it.
Boatwright misses his first free throw of the game. Had been 5 of 5. Makes the second one. Darren, have you noticed that the Dayton fans who stayed in one side of the arena are now gravitating next and behind the UConn basket?
Well, they're trying to make this their home arena. Large contingent of fans from Dayton. Outstanding basketball tradition, tremendous fan support.
Makes 2 of 3, and now we have a timeout. UConn leads Dayton by 6, just over 4 minutes to go in the half.
Nita Brahma asserting himself on the interior with several blocks here late game. 3 of them in the same possession. A one-man wrecking crew, and then his confidence up, so give it to me. Feed me, guys, I've earned it. Gets the touchdown low and the pretty finish.
So much work put this summer with Coach Miller, assistant Coach Miller, to get that shot. That little turnaround hook shot. Brahma now has 4 points.
And one of the keys to Brahma making those plays is that those are energy plays, and a team feeds off those kind of hustle effort plays, and it's led to a rise in energy for the entire team and a 2-possession lead for UConn.
Kyle Davis is back. He's got 4 fouls. Gucci Smith on the court. He's got 4 fouls. Pierre inside. Blocked again by UConn.
Daniel Hamilton might have been the one to get a hand on that. He's got a good one.
The fans are loving it here in San Juan. UConn up, though, by 6 over Dayton.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. Live your own 5-vacation story in Puerto Rico, the All-Star Island. And Burger King's 2 for $5 menu. Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5.
Steve Weissman in studio. Rakeem Christmas getting ready as Syracuse plays Iowa next year on ESPN2. He had led the team with 18 points a game, but finished with just 8 yesterday. Fouled out with 6:23 to go. See if he can have a better performance against Iowa. Now back to the finish with UConn Dayton.
Thank you, Steve. Welcome back to the Coliseo Roberto Clemente here in San Juan. UConn leads Dayton by 6, but Dayton has short history here in this tournament. They were down 3 with 2.5 to go against Texas A&M, and they closed on a 6-1 run.
The guy you got to watch for right now if you're UConn on this out-of-bounds play is Jordan Seibert.
shot against the backboard to avoid Brima.
Free throw is going to be critical down the stretch for both these teams, and both of them shooting it very well. UConn especially, 16 for 18 on the day. That was a great play call by Archie Miller. Take advantage of the thinner Hamilton on the post up on the out-of-bounds play.
Cassell, again a three, not this time. .3:15 to go.
Not leaving the paint defensively. That could be a problem if there's a dribble handoff or a ball screen with this man.
4 to shoot. Deflected by Cassell, out of bounds. Back in the hands of the Flyers. 2 seconds to shoot.
Watch for the screener on this play. The dangerous player is the guy that sets the first screen. Looks like the play they ran against Texas A&M yesterday. Cyber got a catch right in front of the bench for 3.
Here we go. No good this time. Just as he called it. Cyber with the screen and then the flash.
Tough situation with only 2 seconds. About the only thing you can do is get a quick catch and shoot or try to throw it over top. Good deflection, good defense by UConn.
2-possession game.
Saw yesterday in Dayton's game, offensive rebounding huge. You can't just stop the first shot. You've got to clean it up on the glass and finish the play.
Boatwright finishes the play.
I'll say this statement about UConn, Alvaro. If they're within 1 or 2 possessions in any game, they will for sure have a chance because of that young man that just scored.
And now a steal by Cassell. Great defense by Brima. Purvis all the way. Archie Miller wants to talk it over.
This crowd coming alive, and it's mostly Husky faithful. First, the Boatwright finish. Good patience, good spacing. Allows them to drive it, and then off the defensive steal and turnover, Big Purvis. He's hard to stop when he gets out in transition.
8-point lead for UConn, and great body control for Ryan Boatwright, who leads all scorers with 19. This is the bracket. On the championship side, the winner will wait. The winner of Boston College and West Virginia. The loser will take the loser of that. The second game at 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. Championship game on Sunday at 6:30 right here on ESPN2.
Well, as always, a good field here at the Puerto Rico tip-off. And a great semifinal game here down the stretch with UConn and Dayton. It'll be really important for Dayton now to attack inside out first, maybe try to get to the foul line if they can. Next foul for UConn puts Dayton in a shooting situation. Hamilton just got to move his feet, keep him in front, make him finish over top.
Smith with an open 3, no good. Brima grabs the rebound.
And the dangerous thing, if you're Dayton right now, under 2 minutes, down 3 possessions, if you got a guy like Ryan Boatwright on the other team that can literally control a game.
What a play by Purvis.
That's what Rodney Purvis does well, is attack the basket, uses strength to create space.
He's got 19.
You need a quick shot. Dayton taking too much time. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3 down 10. Get something on the glass, guys.
A strip by Boatwright. Purvis runs out of room, and the ball belongs to Dayton. Connecticut lost only 1 game last season when they scored more than 70 points.
Well, we're seeing a reverse of what we saw yesterday from Dayton. Dayton making all the right plays on both ends and executing better than Texas A&M did down the stretch. Today, that's been in reverse. Couple bad offensive possessions, few ill-advised shots, couple turnovers that have led to baskets, and This lead by UConn has gone to 10.
Dayton's missed 11 of their last 13 shots. Kyle Davis and Scoochie Smith with foul trouble to close out this game. 4 fouls each.
Both of these teams built on aggressive, tough defense, but you got to be able to score in crunch situations. Dayton not able to do that here in the last couple of minutes.
And a foul by Scott on Brymer.
One thing I've been extremely impressed with as a coach is watching Ryan Boatwright and his leadership. Not just his ability as a player, but his leadership and his poise with this UConn team that has some new pieces, has some guys like Brymer that are having to play in a larger role this year. Very impressed with Ryan Boatwright and his leadership. Encouraging his teammates at all times. This young man's all about winning.
Connecticut's got its biggest lead. 11. Bryman to attempt only his second free throw of the game. Makes a boat. Now, timeout by Connecticut, up 12 against Dayton.
We just talked about Ryan Boatwright's leadership, but he can flat hoop too. This guy's a bucket getter. He's a nightmare off the dribble because of his ability to create his own shot. You can't guard him with one. You got to be a constant help from teammates. No basket that he had bigger than this one when he turns the corner and finishes strong to extend the UConn lead late in this game.
He absorbs contact and stays in balance at the same time. It's crazy. Even while he's jumping, he's got an ability there.
Well, he's got a knack to score the basketball. He's a tremendous athlete. He's got great toughness, and maybe more important than all of those abilities athletically, he's got a sheer will to win and score the basketball. And this UConn team is going to need him to do it as they continue to develop young guys like Daniel Hamilton and get Purvis and Cassell acclimated to their program, and a guy like Brymer enlarge his offensive role. And I've been really impressed with Boatwright's ability to do both so far.
UConn on a 19-4 run overall, 8-0 so far to close out this game.
You go all the way back to March. Dayton somehow doesn't pull this one out. The first time in a long time that they haven't had a close game go their way.
Scoochie Smith cuts the lead to 10, and now a timeout from Archie Miller. You were telling me that you had hired Archie, given really his first job. What did you see in him that you thought this guy's going to be? At the moment you hired him, what did you see in him?
Well, I hired him on the strong recommendation of Dave Tellep, who's now with the San Antonio Spurs. He was a recruiting expert, knew all the assistant coaches around the country, and he said, I'm telling you, this guy has it. And it only took one meeting to figure out that he was special. He just understands the game. He's great with people. He's got a strong desire to win, and did a tremendous job for our program, and is now one of the best head coaches in college basketball.
Coming up next, College Basketball Live Scoreboard will bring you up to date on all the latest news. 36 years old, just turned 36.
But again, we talked about in their game yesterday, it's a 36 with a wealth of knowledge well beyond his years from a basketball family. His dad, a legend in high school coaching, John Miller in Pennsylvania. Obviously his brother, the head coach at Arizona, Sean, but this young man is wise beyond his years. And I think the important thing as a coach is that Archie Miller and Kevin Ollie, who's a young head coach in his own right, only in his third year, both of these guys know who they are. They know the identity that they want their teams to have, and they're focused on that. And they get the most out of their players.
Pressure by Dayton.
Good chance for Dayton to work on a little full court pressure, not something they do a lot.
And now the 5th foul by Kyle Davis. And he's done. 1 point, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Didn't even attempt a shot. Took 2 free throws, made 1. Dayton with 1 timeout left. As they're down 10 with 50 seconds to go.
And for UConn, this becomes basically a mathematical situation where if they can make free throws, they're going to put themselves in a situation without question to hold on this lead, but they better make free throws.
You were saying earlier that Rodney Purvis is trying to find himself. Did he find himself in this game?
I think he did. I think he focused on attacking the basket, and that's not going to make Archie Miller happy. You got to rebound free throws at any point in the game, but especially late when you're trying to make a desperation run down 10 inside a minute.
Second foul, Daryl Davis. Bortright took a shot right in the neck area. %80 free throw shooter last season. Misses the first. He came into this game perfect, so he missed his first free throws of the season today. He is now 21 for 22 this season from the line. Scoogie Smith. Pierre. No good. And it's a foul before the shot. I think it's on Hamilton. Indeed.
And one of the things you're doing in this situation, and it's why you come to these preseason tournaments, if you're a coach, either Kevin Ollie or Archie Miller, you're always using these situations to teach. So if you're UConn, hey guys, we're up 11 in this situation. What are the things we need to be focused on? All right, if you're Archie Miller, hey guys, we're down 11 in this situation. Here are the things that we need to be doing, and one of them for UConn is to make sure that you rebound the basketball and no silly fouls.
Last 25 seconds of the game.
Tremendous effort by both teams. The difference for UConn, Rima's 3-block play, a bolt of energy, and they got a separation. So you'll be seeing a lot of these teams, especially come March. Two good teams.
And that will be it. Connecticut beats Dayton 75-64 to advance to the championship game in the 2014 Puerto Rico tip-off. Great game by UConn. Great second half by the Huskies.
Well, that young man right there, Bortright, advances his team to the championship. He will await the Boston College West Virginia winner. The key is Boston College is going to have to make shots like they did last night against a very physical, outstanding rebounding West Virginia team.
And take a look at Juwan Staten. Coming up next, college basketball live scoreboard. So long for Puerto Rico. For Darren Horn, this is Alvaro Martin. Now let's send it to Steve Weissman.